top of half guard. We're gonna go with no shields for this half guard. Can we do it with the shield? We can, we definitely can. Okay, but we're gonna go no shield. I'm gonna start to get low. Brian's got good frames, and he's gonna pummel. When he pummels, I change my wedge, right? From this side to this side. And I trap this arm with my chest and with my armpit. I can sit out to get to this elbow, but if I don't have to, then I won't. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You're gonna find times where you have to come here and you're like, oh yeah, he said I can sit out here too. It's okay, you're never gonna remember all the details on the first try. Okay, I make the grip on the wrist. In this case, my thumb is in. Why? Because I'm pushing. When I'm pulling, I take my thumb out. When I'm pushing, I put it in. Okay, I push to my grip set, and then I take that thumb out. Now, you can leave it in there if you're more comfortable. If you're afraid you're gonna lose it, you can keep that thumb in, but I take it out. All right? Now, I'm going head to the mat, butt to the sky. See how that cleared my knee line? It won't always. So sometimes I gotta shake it loose. Then I come in here and I make a wedge on this figure 4 leg, open it up. I'll stand on his leg and fly over the top. I try not to break my partner's head open. Please be careful with that. When I get here, first thing I do is I put my hips under him like a pillow. If I'm not ready and he starts to go, remember I go hammer fist, right? That'll hold him down. When I'm ready for him, he sits up. I put my knee underneath at his hip. Everybody see that? This foot comes over the shoulder. Right? Now look, if he's guarding that shoulder like that, then I'm going to just try to go to his back. Okay? If he's protecting this hook here, then I go over the shoulder. Right? And I'll just hug inside the armpit a little bit. Now remember, the wrist grip works around to the front of the wrist. And I pull in my chest. And I'm hugging his arm. I'm going to just have you guys come to the tricep here. Okay? And now I bring my heel across his neck and rotate. See, my heel and my knee are touching me. Okay? Lock up the figure 4, put my foot behind his back. If it's still not tight, grab my shin, back my butt away, close it back up. Squeeze the triangle, and then I go shotgun arm bar. Good? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I've never done.
Right? So now I'm here, right? This is where you're talking about. And I'm cutting my angle so my hip goes this way, right? Like this. It's the same thing, right? It's kind of like this. Front triangle, please. When I sometimes teach the triangle to more advanced groups where I'm putting this knee in front of the shoulder. So I grab here and I change this angle and it's super tight that way. But I'm also moving my butt away from him. So some people teach it like, you're here, just move your butt away. It's the same thing. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? Yep, same thing. Cool. We're doing today, but just so that you know, this is never a good idea. Okay? What I need to do is I need to get this elbow past this elbow, and I need not only for him to not take my back, but I also need him not to throw his leg over. So I go here, and then I go this way to clear that elbow. And then if I come up, well, I might be putting it on him. Okay, but sitting up into him is never a good idea. So we have to it's a matter of actually getting my footwear on, right? So if he's playing an open guard, like a sophisticated open guard where he's got his foot like tucked inside here, right? I can't get in that space, can I? Right? So let's say that he pulled guard and I detached from him, right? And he doesn't stand up. He's like, I don't want to play guard here, right? Like some of you guys do, which is fine. But I'm not going to let him win the guard position. I'm not going to let him win the grip fight, right? So a couple of things can happen. Sometimes I can just come in and give him a push, right? And I move around, and when he follows me, I step into this space. Sometimes, maybe he's pretty tight here, he's got his elbows tucked, right? And maybe I come in here and I pull here, and when he sits up, I fill this space, right? But my foot has to split his legs. If he lays down here, I'll be honest, sometimes I still try to force this, but it's not the best. It's the best if he stays sitting up, right? So sometimes I'll come here 2-on-1, right? But what I really need is this. This is what I need, okay? And then look, I turn so that my hip is kind of on his face or his shoulder, and my knee is like across the plane of his hip. Does everybody see what I'm talking about here? Okay, so now, I wrap. Does everybody know where this is going?
Yes.
I wrap and I actually let go. I sit my shoulder to his hip, so I'm riding. This hand goes to the mat. And I suck in. Cool, right? Okay, so when I was first started using this, I got a nice setup on Professor Peter, and I started to go, and he moved his shoulder away from my hip, and I tried to just roll over my shoulder, and he just scooted away and said, "Not up in here!" Like a weirdo. And you can see this video too, it was weird. But I hurt my neck pretty bad, and it kept me out for about a week and a half, right? So it is of vital importance. All we're gonna do is we're gonna step in, he's not gonna resist. I'm gonna grab this wrist, I'm gonna wrap this part of the grip with a fan over his bicep and forearm. I'm gonna put my hip on his shoulder, ride it to the ground, out, T. And then he's gonna sit up. I'm gonna throw my knee through the space, leg over the shoulder. Watch, some of you guys are struggling with this. I let go. Wrist to wrist. Hug to my chest. Grab the tricep. Leg across. I arch my back to initiate that roll. Close the triangle. Finish there. If that's not tight enough, grab the shin and back away. Close it, finish it. Shotgun arm bar.